People know Charlie, and not just Charlie the tattooist, but Charlie the caregiver.
And I hope I keep tattooing for many, many years.
Taking on customers with issues that some other shops won't deal with because it's a burn or a bullet wound. Brandie really affected the way I thought about covering up scars.
She's been through a lot. We took off at the light. I remember them ramming the side of my door, and we slammed right into the diesel tank. There was a guy who heard my screams and pulled me out and saved my life.
Scar cover-up, especially burns, are very hard. It's the difference of writing on glass or paper.
Once you come to my shop, tattoo all the burns.
From that point on, we were just two peas in a pod.
That's what I like to do, get rid of their scars and change their lives. It's just very satisfying.
You can cover up such painful memories with beautiful art. I never thought that this was ever possible.
If I'm by myself or somewhere with friends or in the biker community, you know, you gotta act tough, you know. that's just how it is. When I'm with the family, I'm like, that's me and the family, you know. We go out, we go boating, skiing, you know. Biker thing, you gotta be tougher. Family thing, you gotta be softer, you know. It's almost like having two lives, you know. You're in the biker world, and then you're in the family world, you know. It is a little Jekyll and Hyde.
First of all, if tattoos hurt that bad, none of us would be covered with tattoos. You know, second of all, I'm one of the biggest wimps when it comes to pain, and you know, I can't stand needles in the hospital.
I would be working nights, and so it would be a quiet night, and 3 piercings would come in, and I'd send them away because the piercer wasn't in, and I said, oh no, this isn't gonna happen. So I started piercing about 15 years ago, and so I kind of have transitioned into both a dual tattooist piercer, but I enjoy piercing.
I think my grandpa's a little old school with marketing, but that's what he has me on the side for, to help him with doing, you know, new school, getting some of the apps out with Facebook and Instagram.
The first time when I had one of my scars covered, the way it felt to me, it was more relieved. It was like a relieving feeling to be able to give another person that same exact feeling that I felt. You know, it's priceless.
So I saw this silk tie, I go, I gotta have that with my my black Dickie shirt, you know, and it just goes together, and I just love red. So I had to have the tie, and now it's like just part of me. When I tattoo, I gotta have my red tie on and my hat, and I go at it, you know. It's like my my uniform now.
I mean, I consider him the big guy. I don't like to say, you know, my boss, per se. In a tattoo shop, we don't really have a boss. We're kind of a family. It's his house, though. It's Charlie's house, and he's to be respected, you know, just like all of us, we're all to be respected. But I mean, he's got many years under his belt, many scars covered, many tattoos done in this house. He's been there, done that. He's probably seen more than I'll ever see in a lifetime.
Regular tattoos, you know, you get them, put them on, but the first scar I actually covered was like, wow.
It's completely different than doing just a tattoo, because you're tattooing their soul.
Yeah, I love doing them, you know, it's just something that, as a tattoo artist, and I'm sure that other tattoo artists that have done it feel the same way.
You want to get on a personal level with your client and actually get into their head and be that friend and that comforter for that minute that they're here. And sometimes, you know, I feel that, you know, to be an artist, you really do have to have that connection with your client.
When my dad or Gil start doing the cover-ups on the scars or whatever it is that they're covering for these people that come in to the shop, I feel like I meet them and you can kind of see their demeanors, either a little scared or still a little introverted.
You got to take all that in and just, you know, sit there with that person and absorb some of those feelings, you know, and take it on and take it home with you.
So as they start to come out, you know, you can feel like everybody starts getting a little giddy, and I look at it and I'm going, okay, what's this person going to be doing? You know, how's it going to work?
It makes your whole being like just, you know, you're worth something, you know. You know, everybody wants to change somebody's life.
You get this sense, this like, you could look at him and he has this accomplishment, you know, he gets all.
Being able to take on tattoos that a lot of shops, you know, won't take on, and taking on customers with issues that some other shops won't deal with, you know, because it's a burn or a bullet wound or, you know, something like that.
That's what I like to do, you know. I just love making people feel good, you know, change their lives, get rid of their scars, and make their whole life better for themselves. And it's just very satisfying for me. And I know it is for them too. I started out my house years ago, and my wife got tired of me tattooing in my house. You imagine that? So anyway, I opened my first little shop in town, and I used to tattoo in my house, I called it Charlie's House of Tattoos. So that's where the name came, you know. I've been married 35 years. We was together 2 years before that, so I've been with 37 years. She's amazing.
It's like they're so in love. It's just, we look at each other. My daughter, Katie, is always all, I need to find somebody like Grandpa. Grandpa Charlie's the perfect guy.
We were on a road trip back from Alaska, and we were in the car, and they're holding hands. She's in the front seat, and he's in the back. And they're holding hands with each other. I'm like, I can't even get a guy to hold my hand while we're walking, and you guys are in love holding hands, married for 35 years.
When my dad first started doing the cover-ups of scars and burns and stuff, my mom was actually one of his first clients. They were in a horrific motorcycle accident. My mom had terrible scarring on her legs, and they were like the type of scars that don't go back to color. They stay that red or pink, purpley color. And she wouldn't wear shorts or dresses or anything. And so my dad was just like, hey, let's put some flowers on your legs.
I got to watch from 1 flower to 5 flowers. He puts this detail in it to where he doesn't even keep on concentrating on the negative parts. He starts to make it fun.
So my mom has sleeves on her legs, and at any given time, as long as it's not too cold out, she's in shorts or a dress. She doesn't even think twice about it. And it's funny because people will go, oh my gosh, look at the tattoos on that lady's legs. And sometimes I'll overhear them, I go, that lady's my mom. And they're just like, oh, or they'll stare, and my mom will go, what are they staring at? I go, your tattoos. My mom is the one that wanted to have this tattoo parlor. So for her to see this going on and for it to be going on with my dad, she is just so elated. She's so happy that she gets to see it happen, and that, you know, my dad is just on cloud 9 because this is something that he's wanted forever.
She's amazing. She's the strongest woman I know. She was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when she was in her 30s. And she's supposed to be in a wheelchair by 35. She still walks with a cane or hangs on to me, still drives. So, I mean, that's one strong woman, you know. She has diabetes. We found out a year ago she has cancer.
There have been a couple times that I'll ask him, hey, Dad, you know, we never talk. How are you doing with all this, with Mom being sick and everything? He goes, well, I'm doing perfectly fine until somebody brings it up. And I'm like, ooh, sorry. But for the most part, you know, he talks to Katie more than I think any of us.
She's pretty much made all of everything happen. She bought my grandpa his first machine for tattooing.
I really do see Charlie as the the older brother slash father figure to me. And I really did see Dottie taking me on as a stepchild when I started working here. You know, every other shop that I've ever worked at, you work for your own, and you're kind of, you know, everybody basically is out for their own. Dottie's kind of looked out for me the whole time I've been here. And I'm just praying for Dottie and hoping she can be here another 6-7 years with us. I'm hoping for miracles.
Well, my mom was one of his first cover-up and scars, so I know she knows the feeling. So I know it warms her heart to know that he's doing something for other people. She doesn't get to see it as much. She doesn't come down as much.
There is no better feeling than if you really help somebody change their lives. You know, the people that have done it know the feeling, even if it's not tattooing.
We've been in business for 23 years, and people know Charlie, and not just as Charlie the tattooist, but Charlie the caregiver. It's kind of.
And I hope I keep tattooing for many, many years, you know, just so I can do that. And that's what we're doing now. You know, we want to change people's lives. Therapy, you know, it's therapy for me. It's therapy for them, you know, so in therapy is, that's it. She's a really down-to-earth girl who's had up and downs in her life, you know.
Brandie's somebody that I think any woman would look up to.
Brandie came into my life right after I started with Charlie, and really affected the way I thought about covering up scars.
She's a strong woman. She's been through a lot.
Wow, I just graduated junior high. We just moved to a different town, which wasn't far from where we lived before. It was summer. We all, you know, drag race. My dad built race cars. We'd go out in the back roads. We lived out in the country, so we'd drag race a lot and go to like the cool April nights in Reading where the cars cruised the boulevard and did, you know, showed off their stuff. On August 15th, it was my parents' 25th wedding anniversary, and we had found out that my mom's breast cancer had come back before that. That year, we decided to throw my parents a surprise wedding anniversary party. We flew my sister in, family, friends from all over. And we did. We filled the house full of balloons, and we walked her in, and surprise, behind all these hundreds of balloons, she sees her whole entire family. And it was a great day. So that next day, we decided in mid-afternoon, no cars were there or anything, that we wanted to go somewhere. So as much as I told him, no, we can't take the truck because my dad would kill us. It's his baby. You know, he just cut a hole in the floorboard and he was switching it over from automatic to manual so he could, you know, race it. And he said, we won't be gone very long. I promise we won't be gone very long. So as against it as I was, I went with him just in case, you know, something bad happened or whatever, because he had a lead foot. We were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was a couple of guys that were on the attempt to run where they had stolen a vehicle and tried to rape a couple of girls. Well, they set a roadblock up on I-5. They were already past it. They had gone through Red Bluff and they were on Highway 99 taking the back way. Well, they happened to be the two guys that were sitting next to us at the stoplight. And they were yelling back and forth between both cars. Do you want to race, this, that, you know, just yelling back and forth. They were drunk, everything. And I don't remember too much more after that. We took off at the light. I remember them ramming the side of my door. There was a diesel truck with a Caterpillar attached from it going across our 2 lanes. We weren't paying attention to what was in front of us. We were trying to regain control from what had just happened. And the guy bailed from the diesel truck and we slammed right into the diesel tank. Mike was killed instantly on impact. And they had pronounced us both dead at the scene at that time. They didn't believe anybody had survived what had happened. Until there was a guy apparently standing off to the side by the name of Bones who heard my screams, ran through fire, reached through the windshield, felt my feet, and pulled me out and saved my life. First time I saw my skin, I was mortified. You know, it doesn't look like anything that you'd ever want to look at. It certainly doesn't smell like anything you ever want to smell. I remember being lowered down into a holding tank, like a sterile holding tank in a hoist. I did have a blister that was on the side of my leg that was probably about 3 feet long, a foot wide, and probably in depth about 4 or 5 inches. And I had this old black nurse, this guy, and his name was Jacques, and he was my favorite. He was gonna cut the blister off, and I said, no, let me do it for some reason. And I ended up cutting it off, and I just went really slow. And I mean, everything from glass to metal to paint to all kinds of leather that was in the seat was all inside this blister that I had been carrying around for a long time. You know, I was 16, I was supposed to be getting my driver's license, I was supposed to be going to prom, I was supposed to be doing all those fun beach days and everything that, you know, all those teenagers do, you know, during those years. And I couldn't wear a bathing suit, I couldn't uncover myself, I couldn't show the world. So I didn't date. I didn't date at all in high school, I didn't do anything, and it really restricted me from a lot of things. I bottled myself up. You know, I didn't let people in. I didn't trust people. It took me a long time to love people because I always had it in my head that they were gonna leave me. So I think with Mike's death and my mom and my dad and my brother, at the age of 14, that's how it literally defined me, is just abandonment, no trust. I have 2 kids. My firstborn, she's 21, her name is Courtney. My son is Noah, he's 17. He's a skater. My daughter's getting ready to go back to college for business. They're great. They're very supportive of everything that I have gone through and everything that I'm doing, and just tell me every day how proud they are, you know, that I've come this far, so. Charlie and I met, both his grandson and my son both raced BMX together at Sycamore BMX right here. And I remember seeing him, and he was just this big tough guy, you know, and he always had his hat on, and he always sat in the corner and didn't talk to anybody. He was just kind of, just Charlie.
We used to see each other, and, you know, me and my wife would go there, and she'd be there with her daughter, and we'd see each other, you know, but she always wore sweaters and stuff, you know, even when it was hot out, so.
When I had found out that I could actually tattoo over my scars, I wanted Charlie to do it. So at this point, I hadn't met him yet. So it was just really like I was trying to feel him out. I'm like, oh my God, he's so big and scary.
I think she knew who I was, you know. A lot of people in town know who I am.
We walked by a couple of times, we passed each other, and I smiled, and he did not smile back at me. He was just like, just tough guy.
Eventually, you know, we got to sit and talk, and me and my wife started talking to her and asked me, you know, why are you wearing a sweater? And, you know, when she showed the burns.
And then he just, it's like the light switch just flipped. He was just like this big, charming bear. You know, he was just like, oh, you know, yeah, we could do this. And, you know, come down to my shop and we can sit down, we can plan this out, we can talk about it. And he goes, I would love to help you. He goes, you know, I've done this for people before in the past. He goes, yeah, I can help you.
I told her, I said, you know, why don't you come to my shop and I'll tattoo all over and get going on them and tattoo all the burns. You know, I told her I'd do it for free because I wanted, you know, to see really, you know, how the skin grafts and the burns would take it. I've done a lot of scars, but at that time really never did no burn victims like that, you know, with that much burns.
From that point on, we were just like 2 peas in a pod. You know, I'd call him all the time. I'm like, okay, Charlie, I need to do this. I want to do this. What do you think about this? I want to cover up this scar, and I want to put this together. And so we did. We planned it for a little while before we got started.
Then she just kind of started hanging out a little bit more and coming to the shop and, getting more and more curious about if it could be covered, her burns and stuff. And my dad said, well, what have we got to lose? We can always just see how it works on you, because scar cover-up, especially burns, are very hard. Your skin is a whole different texture. It's the difference of writing on glass or paper.
The first time when I had one of my scars covered, the way it felt to me, it was more relieved. It was like a relieving feeling, painful, but it was like, oh my God, this is really happening. Like, my life just started to change. Like, in the next few weeks, this is all gonna be gone. So there's a million things that were running through my head. I was scared at the same time. It did hurt a lot in a lot of places, but there was also places where I didn't feel anything. It was numb from the nerves being damaged. So I think I cried, actually, the first time that I wore a tank top. I think I put it on and I cried. I stood in the mirror literally for like an hour, and I remember I kept going back and forth to the mirror and like looking at the tattoos, and then I'd stop, and it's like when you get your hair done for the first time and you have a new haircut and women, look at their hair. I kept doing it. I kept going back to the mirror, back to the mirror, back to the mirror, and I'm like, oh my God. It was mesmerizing. It was great. It was the best feeling ever.
She's good to us. We was always together. Her and my family were together a lot.
I never thought that, this was ever possible. So I did. I fought really hard for it.
Seeing the way it changed her life and helped her to, move past her almost horrifying past, and to have something to look forward to every time she's getting a new piece, and, to be able to show off herself in a way that she never was able to before, it really did affect the way I tattoo and the way I take on customers. I really take it a lot more personal since I met Brandie and I know her story.
She's had other up and downs, but I've always been by her side, and I never let her go when she's had her downs, tell her to get her head out of her ass, and I don't know if I can say that.
You can totally say
that. Get your head out of your ass and, and come back to reality, and she did, she finally she'd come back and be herself again, and she's been good for a long time now. And
I want other people to feel what I felt. I want them to know that, you can cover up such painful memories with beautiful art. You can get that feeling back within yourself, that security, and that, that you can go on, you can get past it. You don't have to carry it with you for the rest of your life. The gentleman that saved my life, unfortunately, I have never met. That is something that I hope one day that I can make come true, and at least be able to, tell him how grateful I am for him saving my life. And, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I wouldn't have my kids. I wouldn't have my life. Truly, just to the bottom of my soul, makes me feel so good is just to be able to give another person that same exact feeling that I felt. It's priceless. I think that I try to focus more on the end part of how they're gonna feel after. That's what gets my heart. I do understand, a lot of people have a really hard time facing more what happened to them. I don't think they fear so much covering it up. I think the real fear is reliving and facing why they had it and what they went through. But I suggest, to most people that have learned my story, is that you cover it up with something that's gonna help you pass what has happened to you. Don't be scared. To be honest with you, I think surgery to remove it is a little bit more scarier than adding beautiful art.
I wanted to be the one to like call Brandie and tell her to meet up with us, and it was so hard not to even tell her over the phone. Like, I'm just like, hey, we gotta all get together and meet up. And I was just like, oh, okay, don't tell her the secret. Like, wait till we see each other.
Hi, guys.
Hey, girl, what's going on?
So, how was the trip?
Awesome.
Tell me, what did you guys do? How was it?
There was a lot of old people.
Yeah.
When I met with Katie and Tina at the bar, I thought it was just to sit and talk about, Alaska and how the trip was and all that fun stuff.
We got to go whitewater rafting.
A friend of hers actually let us know that he found the guy that saved her life.
I think I was excited to know that I was gonna get to be a part of another big thing in her life. I knew that this was going to impact her.
So, we kind of have a little surprise for you. We found the guy that saved your life.
It has been 24 years since my accident this August, and there's not a year that's gone by that I haven't thought about this man. And I didn't know what to say.
So I don't know how you feel about that, but we have a number. We're not sure if it's right or anything.
I so badly want to pick up the phone and call him, but, I'm scared. Wow, thank you. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say.
Well, all you have to do is dial the number. You don't have to say anything to us.
Wow.
Brandie held it together pretty good. So I still, I don't know what's going on in her little mind there.
The fear comes from when I went to meet him the first time and he wasn't there. I did reach out to his family and I did meet his family, but he was not present at the meeting. He actually didn't want to meet me. I'm not really sure why. I was told several different stories. He was burned and, the media wasn't real nice, and that was generally about all that I knew. So for me, I fear the second rejection, that he might not want to meet me.
We're here with you, so if you want us to be there when you call him, or if you want to call him on your own, it's up to you. But
if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have my beautiful kids. I wouldn't have my family. I wouldn't, be changing people's lives if it wasn't for him. Here, he saved my life, and now I'm changing people's lives because he saved mine. It's definitely something that I would want him to know. No, but I appreciate everything. Thank you very much. Today, I want to talk to Christina about covering up her scar. We've talked about this several times, and I think I can finally get her to come down and get it done today. Today's the day. Have you thought anything more about what we talked about?
I'm leaning towards doing it.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's just, I've just had it for so long. And I felt like it's been kind of a part of me. And everything that it represents, I've kind of carried with me. So,
This is really important to me, only because of going through what I went through, and I know that there's millions of people out there that have gone through tons of different things, from gunshot wounds to amputees to burns to everything, botched surgeries. I just want them to know that, you don't have to go through surgery after surgery after surgery to cover up this pain. You can actually cover it up with something beautiful, like tattoos. I've always wanted to ask you, I noticed that you have a lot of other ink. Why didn't you ever think to cover up your scar?
Honestly, I never really looked at it like it was an option. I've had this scar for 34 years, and it seems like it's always just been a part of me. Everything that I went through when I got the scar, it's just who I've become, and I guess I've always believed that.
So have you actually thought about what you might want to cover your scar up with?
I don't know, there's a song that I've heard and the lyrics, and it just, when I hear it, just makes me feel kind of like so powerful, like, yeah. Oh yeah. And I think just going through everything I've been through and coming out of it where I am today, I feel I should stand tall for that. She had a hard struggle like I did, and she got herself together, and she's a mom of 2 beautiful kids and a wife, and, has a great life now, and I can really relate to that.
My name is Christina, and I'm originally from Ramona, California. I actually go to the beach every weekend. I have a daughter, she's 14, and I have a little boy, and he is 7. She is very into musicals and play and school. She's a very good girl. My son is amazing. He is in his first year of T-ball, and he loves it, and he loves skateboarding. He wants to go to the skate park every day. I have a scar on my stomach from when I was 2. I was shot. I was living with my mom, and we actually lived in East County, San Diego. And my mom had lived with her boyfriend at the time, and I lived with them. I was only 2 years old. It was 1982. And my mom's boyfriend, who ended up turning into my stepdad, he had a lot of guns. And I guess there was a gun that was jammed, and he set it on the kitchen table. And my mom set me at the table and turned around to do the dishes. And I guess I started playing with the gun, and it unjammed. I was under anesthesia for 8 hours because they had to cut me open to get the bullet out. They followed the passageway, and apparently it got pretty close to my spine, but it didn't do any damage. And then I got taken away from my mom and put in a foster home. And it was my mom's parents, my grandma and grandpa, that took custody of me. And I lived with them until I was about 14. I was a ward of the state, but they were my caregivers at the time. My grandma was really strict. She didn't want me to, be a troublemaker like my mom. So I couldn't go out, go to friends' houses, have sleepovers, anything like that. My grandfather, on the other hand, he was just very emotionally abusing. Sometimes physical, just hair pulling and pinching, but mainly he would tell me that nobody wanted me, that I was just kind of a burden because he didn't want to have any more kids after his kids grew up and were out of the house. So it was really hard for me because I just never felt like I was wanted. The hard part was that, she never tried to get me back. I mean, I saw her, I'd see her on the summers and weekends, and I would visit her, and it was kind of sad because I'd go visit her and I'd be her daughter and be with my brothers and my stepdad. Then I'd have to leave and go back to my grandparents. So it was hard leaving. I think my scar symbolizes abandonment and rejection to me. It's been really hard for me growing up. Even in relationships and school and stuff like that, it's been hard because I've always felt like I wasn't good enough, for anything. How did it feel when you first got your scars covered?
God, it was literally a life-changing moment. It was like I left a shell behind and just developed a new shell.
Getting this covered up is gonna be amazing. It's because I've had it for so long. It's like letting go, and it's carried with me, my life and everything I've gone through because of getting this scar. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like a brand new life because emotionally, mentally, it's gonna mean so much to me. I'm looking forward to just being able to look in the mirror and not see it.
I know.
And not be that of everything that I feel when I look at it.
Yeah.
I'm excited not to feel that anymore.
I think I'm nervous for her only because this is, a life-changing event. She's going to no longer see what pain that she's seen for the last numerous years. It's just really gonna change her life.
I think I'm ready to let it go.
When I first brought Christina into the shop to meet Charlie, I was thinking, oh my God, she's finally doing this. I can't believe she's here, she's going through with it. Charlie! Hey, Charlie.
Hi, Brandie. How you doing? Good, hon. How you been?
Good.
Good.
Well, this
Hi.
is my girlfriend, Christina, that I was telling you about.
Hi, Christina.
I finally
Glad
got her
to-
to come down and...
Yes, nice to meet you.
Glad to finally meet you. Christina came walking up with Brandie. I was like, sees this beautiful girl walking up and going, man, this girl has that scar on her that she's been bugging her for her whole life. Yeah,
Yes.
I hear you have a pretty bad scar on you.
I do, and I'm ready to get rid of it.
Are you? Mm-hmm. How long have you had it?
For 34 years.
Wow.
Yes, I got it when I was 2.
Wow. Like to hear the story.
I think it's really important that the tattoo artist and the person, really connect.
Yes.
You mind if I see it? Walk around and see it?
Please.
All right, I have a few phone calls to make, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you two sit back there and discuss everything that you need to, and I'll be right up here waiting for you.
Okay.
I really wanted her to have the experience that I did and really get the feel of Charlie and get to know him and you know, them get together and design their art together and really just truly form a bond.
I could look at her scar, talk over some things like what she wanted, some ideas she wanted, because, you know, someone has ideas, I like to go with their ideas, you know, it makes them feel good, and I had my own ideas to it. So I made out a few drawings for you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you them right now so we could go over them and see if you like one of them or you want some changes or. Well, we narrowed down to 2 designs that she mentioned she wanted, and I drew up 2 designs, added my own little spark to them, and you said you wanted the ones that stand tall.
Yes.
I know you already have a little flame over your belly button. So I drew this one up, stand tall, with some flames coming out of it. She had some old flames over her belly button. And I wanted to incorporate those flames with the tattoo. And one of them I couldn't incorporate it with, and the other one I could incorporate the flames by adding more flames coming up from the old one through the name she wanted. So I drew a pattern of that up, and I showed her that one.
I really like that.
So your flames and everything would blend in right all together, all right? So it'd be like one whole tattoo instead of just your flames sitting there over your belly button in midair, not doing nothing there. Okay?
Yes, I really like that one.
Okay, and the other one, you mentioned the word unsinkable with the little anchor hanging down. So we got unsinkable, the little hanger. I drew a little wave coming around the end of unsinkable. That would be color blues, different blues. This would be in color blues. So it's up to you. You know, we got to
I really love the word stand tall.
stand tall.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I love those words. It has a lot of meaning, and I think the flames, I love it.
As soon as she seen it, she goes, "That's the one. You know, I want that one." I go, "Great," because that's the really one I wanted to put on you, because it would make your old tattoo look like one piece.
Good. So did we decide?
We did decide.
Actually, let me show you. Let me show you here. You gave her 2 choices, and she loves the
I like
stand
this
tall.
one with the flames like that, and it'll cover up the other flame that she has down there.
She loves to stand tall.
I like that.
Yeah,
love
and
it.
it
I'm
just
really
fits. It's a perfect fit for her.
Let me see the other one.
The other one was unsinkable.
Unsinkable.
The little-
That's very nice too.
Yeah. It's a
But I
little-
think the stand tall is gonna be
Yeah.
the one to go
Yeah,
with, huh?
I think it was a great choice. We're gonna make this all flow into one piece with the flame she already has. And,
I think it's
I think it'd be
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm very excited.
So excited.
well. But when we're done with this, you're gonna really be excited. It's gonna hopefully change your life.
It will.
Yeah, okay.
Great. I'm gonna let you guys get started.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Brandie.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's just impressing me how for her to go through whole life like this, and I know she's went through other miseries in her life that, you know, I just proud of her that she made it through life, and some she's wanted to change her life and make things better for her. Let me see if it's gonna fit first. Can I see your scar? Once they like the pattern, I'll sit down and carbon it, you know, with stencil paper. Perfect, huh?
I think that's great.
Right there. Put the pattern on them. You know, it almost looks like the tattoo, but it's just the purple pattern, you know, so they can see what it looks like, if it's in a good spot, straight, whatever. It'll cover perfect. We'll put the flames coming up. So, and once they say okay, you know, okay, you're in the chair, and we'll start tattooing it.
A lot is going through my head right now. Excitement, I'm very excited. A little bit of sadness, a little bit, just because I know something that I've carried forever, you know, so many years is gonna be gone. But it was such negativity that I'm just ready to go away with it and just move on. I'm very excited.
wanted something to be gone on her that nobody would do. I did it. I'm just thrilled to death that she came to me and we did this. She didn't see it, so I was completely done with it. You know, I didn't want her to see it. You know, like those stages that go through the outline, the coloring. I just wanted to see it when it was done. Well, I'm done.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys come on in and take a look at this? See what you think.
How was it? It was something else.
Well, when you see the reveal, we all get pretty emotional.
Well, you ready to see it?
I'm so excited, yes.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Usually you can see the scar, and this was a keloided scar, and a good amount of scar to be covered with that beautiful work that where I couldn't even see the scar. That was amazing to me. And this was definitely some of Charlie's finest work.
Wait, I didn't get to see the scar first, so where does it start?
Can't see, that's the point.
I liked when Katie said that she didn't even know where my scar was. That was the best ever.
Well, let's let her up so she can take a look at it.
All right, girl, you ready to do this? You
So ready.
to see it? It's okay.
Before I got her up to look at it, she started crying, and I'm telling her, hey, wait till you get up, you know, I want you to get up and look at it first, you know. She goes, oh, I know it's gonna be beautiful, you know, she's tears coming out. And so finally we let her up to see it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you can't even see it.
You like it?
I love it. I do. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm like almost like speechless, shocked. It's amazing. I'm amazed.
See, it all blends in now with your flames, and are you happy?
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
She came and hugged me. I was hugging her, and first thing I was thinking, like, you know, don't hug her too much. So I don't want to hit her tattoo. So I was trying like a little ways, but she was hugging me tight. So I just started hugging her, you know, and then she was in my ear like, I love it. Thank you so much, you know. You're getting me some tears here.
I'm really happy.
I'm not supposed to cry.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You know, to see her life change like that, you know, I felt like a little bit of a tear come into my eye. Just seeing her cry, I had goosebumps.
Thank you so much.
New beginnings.
Yes.
New
I automatically become the mom. Are you okay? Can I get you anything? Are you sure? Do you want to cry? Do you need a hug?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yay!
Tears of joy.
I'm so happy. It is done. I can't believe it. It's just amazing. It was definitely worth the pain.
Congratulations.
No more pain forever. I definitely think that me and Charlie have a unique bond. I'll definitely be coming back up here to see him.
We've already talked, and I said, now, you're not going to forget me when we leave here. And she goes, oh, no. She goes, you know, we're friends for life.
I always say that, you know, you don't have to have the same blood to be family, so.
Our friends are our family. You get to choose who your family is.
I want to thank you all so much for a great time yesterday. You were all so welcoming and made me feel right at home. You are all amazing, and I am so truly grateful and thankful for everything. I woke up this morning and looked in the mirror, and all I saw was an amazing tattoo. This amazing piece of art, I truly feel renewed. Thank you so much for everything you have done. Christina.